I'm Dr. Marissa, and today I'm going to show you 4 foods that many adults over 50 reheat every single week without knowing that this simple kitchen habit may be quietly hurting their body from the inside. If you reheat rice, if you reheat fried food, if you reheat processed meat, or if you reheat cooked spinach and leafy greens, stay with me, because one of these foods may already be sitting in your refrigerator right now. And the scary part is this: it may look normal, it may smell normal, it may taste normal, but after it has been cooked, cooled, stored, and reheated the wrong way, it may not be the same food your body thinks it is. Most people think food becomes dangerous only when it smells bad or looks spoiled, but that is not always true. Some food problems are invisible. No bad smell, no strange color, no warning taste. And after 50, when digestion changes, immunity may become weaker and inflammation matters more, these small kitchen habits become more important than most people realize. So before you heat up yesterday's dinner again, I want you to watch this until the end, because the 4th food is one of the most common foods in the world. And if you store it wrong, reheating it may not make it safe again. Before we begin, type leftovers in the comments if you reheat food at least once a week. And if you are new here, subscribe, because this channel helps adults over 50 understand the everyday habits that may quietly affect their long-term health. We don't do fear here. We don't do fake promises. We connect the dots. Now let's begin. The first food you should be very careful reheating is processed meat. I'm talking about bacon, sausage, hot dogs, ham, salami, pepperoni, deli meat, canned meat, and cured meats. Now listen carefully. This is not about one bite. This is not about panicking because you had bacon once. This is about a repeated habit. A little sausage in the morning, a hot dog reheated for lunch, leftover bacon warmed again, deli meat thrown into a hot pan, ham reheated in the microwave, week after week, year after year. That is where the concern begins. Processed meats are not the same as fresh meat. They are often cured, smoked, salted, preserved, and treated in ways that change their chemistry before they ever reach your plate. Then, when you heat them again, especially at high temperature, more unwanted compounds can form, and here is where many people make the mistake. They think, it is already cooked, so reheating it is harmless. But already cooked does not always mean harmless. Some foods become more concerning when they are heated again and again. Processed meat is one of them. If you microwave processed meat until it becomes dry, hard, rubbery, or scorched, that is not just a texture problem. That is a warning. Your food is being pushed through heat again, and your body has to deal with what that process creates. A patient once told me, "Doctor, I reheat sausage every morning because it saves time." And I told her, I understand saving time, but do not save 5 minutes today and build a habit your body has to pay for later. Here is the better way. If you choose to eat processed meat, keep it occasional. Cook only what you plan to eat. Avoid burning it, avoid reheating it again and again, and do not blast it in the microwave until it becomes dry or scorched. If you want protein in the morning, choose fresher options more often: eggs, yogurt, beans, fish, chicken, or fresh cooked meat. Your action step is simple. This week, do not reheat processed meat more than once. If you eat it, prepare a small amount and eat it fresh. If processed meat surprised you, type meat in the comments. Now stay with me, because the second food sounds healthy, and that is exactly why people make this mistake. The second food is cooked spinach and leafy greens. This includes spinach, kale, beet greens, celery leaves, and other nitrate-rich greens. Now, I want to be very clear. Spinach is not bad. Leafy greens are not bad. In fact, they are some of the healthiest foods many adults over 50 can eat. They contain vitamins, minerals, fiber, and plant compounds your body needs. But the problem is not fresh spinach. The problem is cooking it, letting it sit, storing it badly, and then reheating it again later. That is where the habit changes. Spinach naturally contains nitrates. In fresh vegetables, that is not automatically harmful. But when cooked greens sit for too long, especially if they are left out or stored poorly, changes can happen. Then, when heat touches them again, the food is no longer as simple as it was when it was fresh. And this is where people get confused. They say, "But Dr. Marissa, it is spinach. How can spinach be a problem?" The answer is, the spinach is not the problem. The handling is the problem. A healthy food can become a questionable leftover if it is cooked in a large batch, left out too long, and reheated several times. Think about this. You cook spinach at dinner. You leave it on the stove while you clean. Then it sits while everyone talks. Then you put it in the refrigerator later. The next day you microwave it. Then maybe you reheat the rest again the next day. That is the pattern I want you to avoid. Not because one serving will destroy your health, But because repeated poor handling creates repeated exposure, small things repeated for years become big things. Here's the safer way. Cook only the amount of spinach or greens you plan to eat. If you have leftovers, cool them quickly and refrigerate them properly. Avoid reheating cooked greens again and again. And if you want to use leftover spinach the next day, consider eating it cold in a salad wrap or bowl instead of heating it again. That one change keeps the habit simple. Fresh is best. Reheat it again and again is not. Your action step this week, cook smaller portions of spinach and leafy greens. If you usually reheat spinach, type spinach in the comments. Now the third food is where many kitchens quietly make the biggest mistake. The third food is fried food and reused cooking oil. Fried chicken, French fries, fried fish, nuggets, samosas, pakoras, spring rolls, anything deep fried, and especially anything cooked in oil that has already been used before. Most people know fried food is not exactly a health food, but many people do not understand why reheating fried food can be even worse. Here's what happens. Oil changes when it is heated, then it changes more when it is cooled, then it changes again when it is reheated. Every heating cycle pushes the oil further away from its fresh state, and if you reuse the same oil multiple times, it may still look usable, but chemically it is not the same oil anymore. This is why old frying oil smells heavy. This is why reheated fried food tastes stale. This is why the surface becomes dry, hard, or greasy in a strange way. Your nose already knows something changed. Your mouth knows something changed. Your body knows too. Now listen carefully, because this is the part most people ignore. Reheated fried food is often heated unevenly. One part is barely warm, another part becomes overheated, another part gets dry or scorched, and those overheated areas are where the concern increases. You may think, I just warmed it up, but the food has already been through high heat once. Now you are sending it through heat again. If this happens once in a while, that is one thing. But if reheated fried food is a normal part of your week, it is time to change that habit. I had a gentleman tell me, Doctor, I keep the oil because it looks clean. And I told him clean looking oil is not always fresh oil. That is important. Your eyes cannot measure oil damage, so here is the safer approach. Do not reuse frying oil again and again. Do not keep old oil sitting in a bottle beside the stove for days. Do not reheat fried food multiple times. If you must reheat fried food, use a moderate oven or air fryer so it warms more evenly. But do it once, not again and again. And the better choice is simple. Eat fried food fresh, less often, and in smaller amounts. Your action step: if there is old frying oil in your kitchen right now, throw it away. Do not wait until it smells terrible. Do not wait until it turns dark. Do not wait until someone gets sick. If reused oil is common in your home, type oil in the comments. Now stay with me, because the fourth food is the one almost everyone thinks is safe. The fourth food is rice, and this one is different. Rice is not dangerous because it is rice. Rice becomes risky when it is cooked, left sitting out too long, stored badly, and then reheated later. This is one of the most common kitchen mistakes in the world. People cook a big pot of rice, they eat dinner, the rice stays on the stove, 1 hour passes, 2 hours pass, sometimes it stays out all night. Then someone says, just put it in the fridge, we'll microwave it tomorrow. But here is the problem. Cooked rice can allow certain bacteria to grow if it sits too long at room temperature, and some toxins that form may not be removed just because you reheated the rice. That is the part people do not know. They think heat fixes everything, but heat does not always undo what poor storage already allowed to happen. The microwave can make rice hot, but that does not mean the rice was handled safely. That is why someone can eat reheated rice and later get stomach cramps, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, and they say, but it smelled fine. Exactly, that is the danger. Rice can look fine, smell fine, taste fine, and still cause a problem if it sat too long before refrigeration. So here is the rice rule. Cool rice quickly. Put it in the refrigerator within 2 hours. Use shallow containers so it cools faster. Do not leave it sitting on the stove all evening. Do not leave it out overnight. Reheat it only once. Make sure it is steaming hot all the way through, and if rice has been left out overnight, throw it away. Do not smell it, do not taste it, do not guess. With rice, guessing is not a safety plan. A woman once told me, my family has done this for years and nothing happened, and I told her that may be true, but safe habits are not built only on what happened yesterday. They are built on what could happen tomorrow. That is the point. Your action step from today: treat cooked rice like a food that needs quick storage. If rice surprised you, type rice in the comments. Now let's bring everything together. I am not telling you to fear leftovers. Leftovers can be safe, but only when they are cooled, stored, and reheated properly. The danger is not always the food itself. Sometimes the danger is the habit. Cooking too much, leaving food out too long, Reheating the same food several times, using old oil, microwaving food until it becomes dry and scorched, trusting smell instead of storage time. These are the habits that matter. After 50, your body may not recover from food poisoning, inflammation, digestive stress, or poor food choices as easily as it did when you were younger. So you have to become smarter in the kitchen. Not scared, smarter. Here is your simple rule. Processed meat, do not reheat it again and again. Spinach and greens, cook fresh when possible and avoid repeated reheating. Fried food and oil, do not reuse old oil and avoid reheating fried food multiple times. Rice, cool it fast, refrigerate it properly, and reheat it once. That is the map. 4 foods, 4 habits, 4 changes you can start today. Tonight, I want you to open your refrigerator and look at your leftovers. Ask yourself, how long did this sit out? How many times has it been reheated? Was it stored properly? Is this one of the 4 foods I need to treat carefully? That 1-minute check may protect your stomach, your energy, and your long-term health. Now I want you to comment one word. Which food surprised you most? Type meat, spinach, oil, or rice. And if this video helped you, subscribe, because in the next video I'll show you 5 breakfast foods many adults over 60 think are healthy, but may be raising blood sugar and inflammation before the day even begins. I'm Dr. Marissa. Take good care of yourself this week. You came here thinking reheating leftovers was just a normal kitchen habit, but you are leaving knowing that some foods need more respect after they are cooked. You came here with a plate of leftovers, you're leaving with a map.